Hey traders, it's the Crypto Cowboy. It's Saturday morning here on the 2nd of November. So coming to you with another crypto market update here. Let's start with Bitcoin and I'll go shortly to a few others in this one. The action this week was pretty subdued, right? Not a lot of things happened. Basically, we consolidated. We've had last weekend. We've had this major rally of whatever it ended up being, 30 to 40% rise in Bitcoin. And following such a sharp rise, it's only normal to expect a correction in the price. We're still going from the premise that we have reached a major low into Bitcoin back in December 2018. And we've spent the bigger part of 2019 here, all the way to June, into a pretty aggressive rise into the price of Bitcoin from 3,200 to about 13, almost 14,000. Following such a sharp rise, like it's the case with this latest one, a correction is totally normal. And when you don't have a simple correction and to kind of neutralize this whole rise back here or to correct it, the corrections often than not get complex and they get extended. So basically, if you guys look up here, and I've mentioned this into my other updates as they were happening, distance traveled in this wave too. It's 61.8 fib of distance traveled into wave 1. Okay, so an extremely important point into the market where we've had this major rally down here. You're probably familiar with my videos up to now, and unless you're new to this, you know that we've been watching this wave pullback here into either being a wave 4, if this is a wave 3, or a wave 2, if this is halting, it's a wave 1. The duration of this wave makes it kind of unlikely to still be a wave 4, although the pullback here was shallow enough to still be considered a wave 4. So it doesn't matter at this point what it is. In terms of time, it seems that it is a 2, which means that the next wave up here should be an extremely aggressive climb into a wave 3. But whatever happens, even if it's going to be a 5th wave up, a very short 5th wave, we're going to have to take out these highs and go a little bit higher, and then we'll see what happens there. Right? More than likely, if we're going to have a first wave 1 instead of a wave 5, then we'll watch the pullback, how it happens. And if it's a wave 5, they have a pretty specific way of terminating, and we'll be able to kind of tell. But if it's just a wave 1, we'll watch the impulse and then we'll watch the pullback. And if the pullback comes back in a wave 2, and then we start taking the highs of that wave 1, then we know that more than likely we are beginning on a 3rd wave price action. If it's a wave 5, whatever is going to happen here, in the rise, then we will expect a larger correction down into an ABC that should probably take the lows down here from 7,300. But that's a little bit down in the future. The main idea remains that we do have to stage a rally back here, either being a wave 1 of a larger 3rd wave up, either being a 5th wave of this whole move. So we are considering the rise from these lows here as a wave 1 up. And we haven't penetrated this trend line, so I'm just gonna consider it as a wave 1 for right now, because I was waiting for this correction to deepen a little bit and it hasn't happened. It still could, but on the video that I've done last week, I've said that this could still be an X wave, where you go WXY, X, and another ABC down to make even more lows for this wave 2. Here to extend a little bit more towards, let's say, 55, 5800 into the 618 fib zone. Let's say for right now that this is a wave 1. And the market has to prove this by climbing above the top of it. And that's at about 10,300, 10,400. An even better confirmation of a termination of this correction is a climb about 10,900 and then a climb above this 12,000 zone. Is this correction enough for this sharp rise? It's kind of small, but it's possible. I don't think it's a wave 4 anymore because, I don't have a wave 2 to compare it with. So if we consider this as a wave 1, then this is a pretty shallow wave 2. And if I dig down to a 6-hour chart, you can see kind of how I pulled this back here towards the 50% on the 618 is wave 2, so we can have a proportional correction. The market is rising slightly this morning. We're at about almost 9,400, but let's climb about 9,420 here to get a little bit more confirmation, of a higher correction here. But this could be a very simple ABC. For a W, you can have an X wave coming up here to 9,900 and then drop back down into another ABC to just do a double zigzag into a wave 2. So unless we're climbing aggressively about 9,900, and start breaking to this trend line, I am not fully convinced that this retracement is already over. If I count this as a 1, 2, 3, somewhere having a 4 here or a 4 here, and this is a 5, and have this as a wave 1, then definitely this wave 2 correction, I don't think it's deep enough. If it is just a wave 2 and you have some kind of an ABC, and I know in some platforms I think there's this lows here that are a little bit lower, I think. So there is an issue with the count back here. You could have basically like a failed wave C down here, or like a truncated wave C, and you can have an ABC, very simple, and then you can keep going up. So let's say that you anchor this up here, you're basically pulling back no more than 38.2%, and let's say that you start doing this, rise up here in a 1, 2, and then you're starting to move up. And I'll show you this on this 45-minute chart, for example. So you have this wave 2 down here. If I go to a 3-hour, right, you have this WXY kind of coming down, or an ABC, and now you have a 1, 2 into the 1 hour, sharp rise up here in a wave 1, pull back in a 2, and now you're starting to do this, rise up and go possibly in a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like a leading diagonal in here, pull back in a wave 2, and then, start making new highs, starting to build like a trend up here, attacking this 9,900. But I would cautious. I would just, be patient on here until we get more confirmation. Okay. So let me go back here to a. So yeah, if I go, just kind of go back to a daily chart, a target. Let's say that we're starting to get an impulse wave in a wave 3 down here, and I'm going to do like 3 versus 1 here. So for a minimum target for this wave 3, we don't have a wave 2 low yet, but let's just say that this wave 2, it's basically where we have it right now at about whatever that was. It's down there, 9,000. Equality between wave 3 and wave 1 would come in at about 12,695 on a wave 2 at this low. If this wave 2 moves lower, then obviously that percentage will change. But that would be a minimal target, and then an ideal target would be this 161.8 that it's at 15,732 for this wave 2, and that will take out these highs. All right, but let's go one thing at a time. Look for this 100, and then see what happens once we get up there. We definitely need a confirmation here of a move above 10,000. Going on the candles a little bit. And, you can see here after, and this is a monthly because we just closed the month. But you can see clearly this nice bullish rise, right? Every single candle in here was bullish, controlled by the bulls. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 months of a bullish market, followed by three little candles here of a corrective price action. And you finished 3 months of correction, and now the fourth month, which is the month of October, you're starting to get some bullish action right on here, right? Open and close. I mean, opens at the same levels, right? Goes down, markets pulls back and starts getting bullish, makes those highs, pulls back, closes up here, and now we open up again. And usually following a bullish month like this, I would expect another one to develop up here. And if we're the month of November, if we're going higher and we're taking the highs of this candle at about 10,400, things are going to start to look interesting. And if this is all we're getting to this correction, then this wave up here should be much, much longer. As you're going to look up there, I'm going to go just kind of squeeze this chart in a little bit. And I don't know what happened to my data previously, going back from 2016. But if this all we're getting down here into this small 3-candle correction, then I expect this to get into something like this, and start building up higher here. All right, so this is on the candles, and I'm going to go look a little bit at Litecoin. And Litecoin, it's kind of in a similar situation. We know. Consider this. I'm going to go to a daily chart here, and you've had this nice rise into the wave 1 up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, clear move up, and then you have this ABC correction or WXY. There's a couple of interpretations where you could count this correction as. Let's just keep it simple. You have a pull down in 5-way, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 in an A. You have a B up, and then you have another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So basically just a zigzag down. And now we're challenging the top of this trend line. And if I go to a 6-hour chart, you can see you have this rise up here in a 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I think this wave 5 is a truncation. Pull back in this wave 2, which again, just like it's the case in Bitcoin, we're not sure if it's completely over or not yet. So anything lower here, it's acceptable. Up to 786. Below that, I'm going to start to get worried. But I think the market will start challenging, this trend line and start breaking through it and getting more indication that we're embarking on a bull trend here. So if I go back to a daily chart, I'm expecting here, so from 2, let me go to a 2-day chart, basically in Litecoin, for start building up a third wave up here. Let me give you some targets. 30 versus 1. So at the minimum, we should reach $300 in Litecoin, and then ideally about 990 into this third wave up as it starts developing. Right now, mind you, this third wave will have to be built of 5 internal waves. So you'll have this wave 1 up starting to build. Then you'll have your chance to buy it on its wave 2 pullback, third of a third, 4 and 5, 4 and 5. So there's plenty of chances here to join the trend once it starts showing us that the market starts to move. And the first indication would be a climb above this $80 level, then about $100 level. So there's plenty of wood to chop on this. But if this correction is over, we're looking much higher. That's in Litecoin. Let me climb to Ethereum here. Ethereum has been, just lagging a little bit, and we've had this rise when everything kind of went up last week. But I think this correction is done in Ethereum as well. It was a little bit shallower. We've reached actually almost a 618 wave 2 green versus wave 1. So you have this leading diagonal in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for 1, down in 2, wave 3, 4, and 5. Wave 3 is not the shortest wave because 5 is smaller than third, so it's completely fine. And now you do like this WXY and an ABCX and another ABC down. The move is over. You have this double bottom. You go up into this leading diagonal in wave 1. In a 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, pull back into this ABC down into this wave 2, retest the lows. We never make new lows, so the count is completely valid. And now we're pulling up into this sharp rise in the wave 1, and we're working this wave 2. And, again, same like it's in Litecoin and Bitcoin. If we want to pull down a little bit more here, it's fine. But if it wants to start making new highs, I would look above 190 and definitely above this wave 1 resistance here, where you have 200 level, 198. You can see how both waves kind of stopped at around the same level, and then you're looking higher. If I go on the 2-day chart on targets, 2, 3 at the minimum, right? This wave 3 would equal this rise in wave 1 at about 676, I think it is. Yep. And an ideal is 1,697 at about 161.8. Again, there will be plenty of time to join this trend. As you can see, we're targeting this move up to complete this wave 1 first. 1, 2, 3. You have a subdivision in 5 waves, 4 and 5 for 1. And then you have a wave 2, and then 3, 4, and 5 to complete this third. So markets need time to go, and they will pretty much follow the Elliott wave patterns on an impulsive rise. Ripple looks interesting still, right? No new lows here. I think we've hit a major low in Ripple. On a 2-day chart, we go and we look as this as being a WXY and an ABC, sharp move down in 2, and then completes this pattern down. And then you're doing a climb up here into this wave 1. I think if I go to a 3-hour, we can see it a little bit better. You have a 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for 3, 4, and 5. Sharp pullback in a wave 2 down into the 618. Very beautiful price action. You come up here in a wave 1, and now we're doing this ABC down in a wave 2. Ripple can come down a little bit more here, maybe towards 27 cents. 50% is at 28 cents possibly, and then start to follow this channel and move up. If we're breaking through this aggressively, then we know it's a third wave price action, followed by a 4 and a 5. Longer time frames, you're looking much higher in Ripple. I don't even know where this wave 3 ends. I don't think I have it here on my weekly charts. But this could be, well, it's a little bit aggressive, right? So if you're looking at this wave 3 to be equal to this wave 1, I'm not sure if my price action here is completely correct. And if the data is very accurate up here, but just to look at the inequality between these two waves, I mean, you're looking at this third wave, with 100% being, you see, this is the 618. I don't even have it on the chart. 100% would be at about $239. That's a little bit crazy. I'm not even gonna go there. I think I don't know what the market cap will end up being in Ripple if we're getting that crazy. But let's just not overthink it here. Let's just take it one thing at a time, and just look for the market to give us some moves up here into Ripple and start confirming that we're indeed on a bullish trend, and then we'll deal with the crazy numbers as they happen. Obviously, first you have to get above the $3 mark, and then as the market gets more mature, there'll be years and years down the road. So this is, I think we have some good signs from Ripple, and we just have to wait for the market to confirm it a little bit more, right? Just get above this wave B, top at about 50 cents, and then we'll just keep monitoring it. Okay, Stellar, it's been doing pretty well as well. This is a like a 1-day chart. On a 2-day chart, I think I have this pullback here. Either if it's a 2 or a 4, doesn't matter. But I think the correction is complete. You have a W, X, and Y, and then you have this ABC down, 5-wave move correction, 5-wave move down, sharp rise up in 4th wave, pullback in 5th. And now we're starting to build a bullish case. Leading diagonal in 1, ABC down in 2. You can see that a little bit better on the smaller time frames. And now we're making a case for a rise up here. Either you have, let me see if I have this on a 3-hour, but it's possibly here where you have a 5-wave completion in a wave 1, pullback in 2, and now we're doing another 1, 2, and we start to look up higher. So equality here between this wave 1 and this wave 3 comes in at about, actually I think we reached equality here at about 727. So right now these waves are equal in distance traveled. So we'll see what happens. If this is just another ABC up, then look down below. We definitely have to break below the 625 and this 578 in case this is something else and not a 1, 2, 3 or another 1, 2, 1, 2 coming down, and then we go back up higher. So I think stellar, it's a very important junction, and I want to see what the reaction is up here. If this is a triangle and we start moving up higher, but I'll keep an eye on this. This is going to be interesting. All right, I think that's all I've got. I mean, EOS, Tron, they're all starting to give me bullish signals down here, but I think we're at an important juncture, and I want to see what happens. So yeah, hit that thumbs up button, guys, if you like this content, and come follow us in the Telegram room. And I'm up on TradingView as well, posting there regularly. I'll see you guys on the next video update. Any comments and any suggestions, leave them down below, and I'll be happy to answer. Thanks, guys. Bye.